Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Horror Movie Review. I'm Daniel, and yeah, let's get into another great episode. Another delicious episode. That a better adjective? We'll say another delicious episode. Tonight, we're going to be reviewing our big main event. Will be Get Out. Yes, 2017's, it just came out 3 years ago. And it's already like a classic, like a modern day classic. So, you know what? But we're saving that for later. That's the dessert, Where's the main course? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Let's keep going. Right now, we got a little bit of horror movie news. So, last week, they just released, David Lynch did a short film. Now, he actually did a short film back in, I think 2016, 2017, something like that. And it got like a limited release or whatever, played at a festival or two, or, whatever the case was. But I guess it just kind of sat on the shelf for however long. Well, last week was his birthday, and they finally released it on a bigger platform. We're talking about Netflix, and it's only 17 minutes. It's called What Did Jack Do? You can't do this justice. I can't even, describe it without it, A, sounding just insane, B, I can't make it sound as interesting as it actually was. You just gotta check it out. It's 17 minutes. What the fuck do you got to lose right there? Basically, we're at a train station, and there's a murderer on the loose. David Lynch, he's like a detective, kind of a lot like Gordon from Twin Peaks. And anyways, he interrogating this monkey. I don't know what you call those monkeys, but the ones from Ace Ventura or remember Friends? Ross had one. One of those monkeys. But dude's wearing a suit, and he talks, and it's the greatest thing ever. And it's just they're just speaking. I can't do it. I can't do it. All I'll tell you is it involves a murder investigation, and at one point the monkey sings. Fucking David Lynch, I love you so much. Please keep making more stuff. Anyway, it's brilliant, so yeah, definitely check it out. On the other spectrum, that's insanity, but it's kind of like high art insanity. On the other end of the spectrum of insanity, but low art, we have a new release coming out called Ouija Shark, or Ouija Shark, or however you pronounce that. Where basically this young girl finds a piece of, initially it looks like a big piece of driftwood in the ocean, but it turns out it's a Ouija board. And they take it home, and they do a seance, and it summons a shark, in the open, not even near water. And it's the greatest fucking thing ever. It has really bad, you know how, the Sci-Fi Channel has really bad CGI? This is way worse than that, but it just looks great. This is my kind of, I love Z-level type movies. I'm a fan, I am. Because I feel like when you're an mainstream A-list type, movie, company, production company, whatever, I expect that CGI look really good. Because guess what? You pricks have the money. But when you're on the other end of it, and you just see it's a ridiculous premise like a Ouija shark, that's brilliant. And then on top of that, the CGI is just really bad. Oh, it's just gold right there. That's just fucking gold. So anyways, there you go. Ouija Shark coming out. Comes out, I think, in February sometime. So stay tuned for that. We also got a little bit of news coming out that, so in the upcoming Halloween Kills, which is part 3, it's the new season of The Witch. It is basically, the follow-up to Halloween, but, Halloween and Halloween. It goes Halloween, and then Halloween Kills. Good on you guys. Anyways, there was an interview recently. It was a really interesting interview because it wasn't all horror. It was just more like a career retrospective with Anthony Michael Hall, which I'm a huge fan of. Grew up watching all his John Hughes movies, and this. If you were a kid in the 80s, 90s, you knew who Anthony Michael Hall was. And unfortunately, he kind of faded away there for a little bit, but he kind of made a resurgence there. He just pops up in random places. Dark Knight, anybody? Where the hell do you come from there? Anyways, but he's going to play Tommy Doyle. And I guess it's kind of a cool little moment where Paul Rudd apparently called the studio because he played Tommy Doyle in part 6. And of course, since then, he has gone on to become a superstar. Everybody loves Paul Rudd. And just kind of gave his blessings and said, good luck on the movie, which that's the coolest thing ever. I don't know, Paul Rudd just seems like the nicest guy in the world. So it's just really cool that, he kind of called him up and just told him, hey, good luck, and, knock them dead. So yeah, really good stuff right there. Trailer came out last week. My God, this thing, mindfuck for sure. So I don't know how to pronounce it. Vivarium, I think is how it is. I could have easily typed it into Google and just hit the little speaker button, but I didn't. I think it's Vivarium. Jesse Eisenberg and Imogen Poots, is that how you pronounce her last name? They go, they look for a house in this like insanely little, like nice, but very uniform looking suburb. Like every house looks the same. Like not just like one of those typical like, well, all these houses look the same and they clearly don't. No, every house looks exactly the same. So they go look at it, and then, you know, the guy looks kind of crazy and shady as he's like, yeah, you know, just odd. And they're like, well, thank you, but no thank you. And they decide to leave. But then they can't get out of the fucking complex. Like, they're driving. It's like the scene in Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare where, you know, they're trying to get, you know, out of Springwood, and like every exit just keeps taking them back in circles. And they keep just going right back to house number 9, which is the house they were shown. And it goes weird from there. I recommend checking out the trailer. It looks insane and crazy and all that stuff. Like I'm all for just insane, psychological, mind-bending, mind-twisting horror films. I'm not sure if this would be straight up horror or not, but it definitely is on the fringe, if anything else. But it looks really crazy. So yeah, definitely check it out. And then finally, we got a little bit of news. They're going to be doing a remake to Anaconda. Now, the first movie came out like in like 97. In fact, a little trivia note, here in my small town here at Bedford, Indiana, we went for a long time when I was a kid without a Cineplex, like no movie theaters at all. We had drive-ins, and you know, we'd hit them up from time to time, but that only goes during the summer. And we just I didn't see a whole lot of movies as a kid there. But when I was in junior high, yeah, I was in junior high time, we get a theater. In fact, we get 2 of them. That's a whole other story. We'll get to that maybe one of these days. But anyways, but Anaconda was the first movie I watched in the Cineplex. Now I've seen them before. I've been to movies before. And once again, when I was really little, we had one here in town. But it went down like in 89 or 90. So a good like 6-7 year period of like nothing. And those are my formative movie watching years. Like, that's horrible. That's a horror movie right there. But anyways, you know, it came out and, you know, got kind of crapped on by critics. I mean, it must have been decent money-wise. I mean, it would spin off a franchise, so it had to do all right. I remember really loving it as a kid. Like, as a kid, I'd be, you know, not discriminating against any movie, so it's like, I didn't realize how cheesy or bad, you know, it may appear. But even as an adult, I can go back and watch that movie and still love it. Like, I don't know, I don't find it as, like, you know, atrocious as some people do. 2005, it would get a sequel, which, once again, people kind of shat on. I liked it. Like, from the get-go, I thought it was a really good movie. CGI definitely got worse. Like, I think the CGI looks like decent in the 97 one. Like, there's definitely scenes where you're like, yeah, that's fake as shit, but for the most part, it doesn't look bad. And then, like, somehow, like, '05, there was like, fuck it. Fuck it, we're at Screen Gems right now. We ain't getting a whole lot of money into this. But that was the last time they touched the theaters. And then after that, the next 2 would go straight to Sci-Fi Channel. David Hasselhoff. Anyways, go straight to Sci-Fi Channel. And then they'll do a crossover with Lake Placid, which that's the one I haven't seen. I have not seen the Anaconda versus Lake Placid, or whatever the fuck they called it, film. I mean, I'm sure it's great. You know, the other 2 I didn't care for because I love giant animal, or, you know, when nature attacks, or whatever you want to call them, type movies. I like those films, but I like it kind of somewhat grounded in reality. Like, I'm okay with just an animal being freakishly huge in nature, and that's okay. But it seems like every time the Sci-Fi Channel does a movie, I don't know, it seems like more often than not, it's some kind of genetically engineered whatever. And it's like, why the fuck are you even creating this? What was the... And I mean, I like the movie, but it's really bad. It was it Boa? Or no, it was Python. It was Python 2, actually, now I'm thinking about it. And they genetically engineered this giant fucking python for military purposes. Like, what was the fucking plan there? Like, you know, at that time, I mean, it was around 9/11. We're battling with, like, Afghanistan or Iraq. Like, you just want to take a giant python, just drop it off over there, hope it kills everybody, and then whistle and hope it goes back in its tube. Like, even if I'm younger and I don't know what the fuck, I'm like, that's stupid. That's ridiculous. Whatever. But they always do that. They always make these insanely, like, giant, insane... Like, the only ones I will give a pass to, I seem like Deep Blue Sea, but they didn't like genetically engineer one. They just made them smarter. Like they didn't actually, they were real sharks. They just went ahead and added something to them. Like that's okay, but like when they're literally just playing Frankenstein in the lab, and I don't know, I'm getting off on terror. Anyways, Anaconda, they're doing a remake. I read the guy who wrote it. He did a lot of like I don't know. He's like a blockbuster kind of guy. Like he did like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the reboot. The Mummy. No, he didn't do The Mummy. That was Alex Kurtzman. I don't know. He did movies like that though. He did like big blockbuster type movies. So, and I mean, that's, I'm okay with that. I mean, once again, The Meg could have been better, but, it had that big blockbuster, Jaws type feel. So, I mean, I'm okay with that. Giant anaconda kicking ass. I just hope it's this a regular anaconda that maybe eats people that have ingested some kind of magic flower that makes them, stay young, which is why they keep growing, as opposed to genetic engineering. That makes sense? Yeah, so anyways, but yeah, we got a brand new Anaconda potentially on the horizon there, and I'm excited. I mean, actually, I'm a creature feature guy, so I love, I own all the Anaconda movies, except for the crossover. I shouldn't own 2 or 3 and 4, but I do. Anyways, so yeah, there it is, Anaconda reboot coming your way. Oh, the guy also he wrote the Divergent series, which is what it is, I guess, so as long as we're not just like making this look like something out of the CW or like Riverdale looking. Like I'm not against Riverdale, but I don't like that style, that look, that clean dark look. It's like, oh, it's dark, but everybody here is just like a Calvin Klein model. It's cool. Now fuck that. You're gonna get killed by a giant snake. All right, make it gritty and put it in the jungle. That's what I want right there. So, all right, so that's it for news. We're gonna move on now with the villain showdown. I'll give him a quick little drink here. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a spot right there. McAllister's, hashtag not sponsored, If they want to. If they want to, I'm open to negotiation. Villain Showdown, a couple weeks ago. The match, it was Freddy Krueger going up against Norman Bates. And the votes are in. And shockingly, Norman Bates wins. What the fuck? I was not... Krueger, I figured he'd go Final Four at least. No, Bates. Insane. And I think my favorite comment was, how Norman Bates does it. He lures Freddy Krueger in with the promise of a cheese sandwich. And it's going to be toasted. Norman Bates like it toasted. And as he brings him in with conversation, bam, slashes his throat quickly. So, I mean, I'm guessing we brought him into the real world. Krueger came to the real world hungry. I can see that. If you had to make sense, like if you really had to make Freddy, no one's gonna be happy, but you had to make Freddy versus Norman, and then here Daniel make it work. That's the route I'd go. He somehow pulls him out, but then when Freddy realizes how disturbed Norman Bates is, he's going because Freddy's willing to team up. Freddy is willing to team up. We've seen it before, so I mean that's not going against his character. If he thinks he can get his kicks by murdering all these people coming to the motel, he's gonna do it. He's going to do it. In fact, Norman's twisted. He's like, yeah, you bring him in, and then, because, he can't do it. He's all burnt up. No one's going to want to buy a key from this guy, get a room from this guy. So he's going to be like, yeah, you go ahead and do it, and I'll hide out in the bathroom, and we'll slash and dash, or slice and dice. Sorry, it's a little late, and this guy, it's been a long weekend, so be nice. Anyway, but he's like, yeah, we'll slice and dice. And then, of course, Norman's like, hey, let me make you a sandwich. And, of course, now Freddy's human again. He's in the real world. So he has to eat, and then, yeah. I like to think, though, that Freddy would give a vibe. I don't think he'd go out that easy. I feel like he would see it coming, because he's on his guard. He's not stupid, so he'd be like, oh, shit, what the hell? And then they'd get in a fight. But Norman's not there. It's Mother. Mother took over, and guess what? Mother was going to kill Freddy. So yes, Norman Bates moves on. That presents us now with the next matchup. And this one, another kind of, they were thrown. I grabbed 16 of them, random. Literally just typed in best horror movie villains in Google, and the list came up, and I took 16 of them, and I threw them in a cup and shook them up. So we got some wacky pairings early on. This one, we got Jason Voorhees going up against Annie Wilkes, Friday 13th, and Misery. What the hell? So Jason, let's give the quick rundown on this guy. Camp Crystal Lake. He's from the Friday 13th series. There are 12 movies in his franchise. One crossover, and then do you count 5? I mean, I always count 5, but Jason wasn't killing that one. That was Roy, the paramedic. So, but either way, He's got a pretty good thing going there. His powers, I mean, the dude's a zombie. He came back. He got, lightning brought his body back. Now he's a reanimated corpse, and he just has nothing but vengeance and contempt for people hanging out at the campsite. So he kills them, dispatches them with machete. But let's face it, he's more associated with that machete. But dude, he's a jack of all trades. Like, that dude knows how to kill you if anything. Which is another great thing about Jason. He's definitely got, he's intelligent. More intelligent people give him credit for. Especially if you look at like the remake, Friday 13th remake. There he was like setting traps and all kind of, using hunting skills and shit. So I mean, it's like, he's not bad. He's not bad. Weaknesses. For whatever reason, in Freddy vs. Jason, they say subconsciously he was afraid of water, which I don't buy because he literally would swim after motherfuckers to kill him. Like, you can't just get away from him in the water. He will come after you and pull you under. So I don't completely buy that. But he does get outsmarted quite a bit. Like, for as intelligent as he can be, he does have his moments too where he just does dumb shit. Like, he chases Jenny around in part 2. Like, he knows what Jenny looks like. He sees Jenny quite a bit. He sees her face and shit. He knows who Jenny is. And then she puts on a sweater. And he's like, I'm your mother. And he's like, okay. What? Yeah. But, hey, it is what it is. I mean, once again, that was part 2. So, now, cut through all that shit. He's been to space and Manhattan and fought Freddy. He's been to hell. I mean, he's been around now. Maybe he wouldn't fall for that. Maybe that would, so Annie's going to try to do something else. Annie Wilkes. Misery. She has one movie to her franchise, but if you want to count Castle Rock, she was in season 2 of Castle Rock. I talked about that last week. Strengths. I mean, she's pretty intelligent. She can get. She's been killing patients left and right, and she's been able to get away with it. So you got that going for her. She's psychotic, and that's definitely a plus when you're in a villain showdown. Because guess what? You may not know karate, but you know crazy. And let's face it, Annie Wilkes, she's fucking crazy. And she's pretty handy with a sledgehammer. Granted, you gotta be pretty incapacitated first for her to use that. And that may be the biggest weakness right there. And I don't want to get into a whole, but I mean, she's an older woman. I'm sorry. She's not a bodybuilder. She's not an athlete. She's just a crazy nurse. And Paul Sheldon was incapacitated. He was injured from the car wreck. Now, she did drag him from the wreckage, and I'll give her that. She's probably got a little bit of strength. But once again, she saw who it was. She was like, holy shit, I'm your number 1 fan. It got her, adrenaline going. So, I mean, once again, she's crazy. She has a sledgehammer, but she's a mortal woman. She was killed. Didn't she get her head bashed in with the typewriter? Is that how she died in that one? So, whereas she did die in her movie, you can't kill Jason. Like, he'll keep coming back. Like, even when you think he's dead, you blow him apart, and somehow someone will be like, hey, is that a beating heart? Shit, I'm possessed now, and they eat the heart and become Jason. That seriously happened. So, there you have it. Jason Voorhees goes up against Annie Wilkes. Guys, let me know who you think wins that. Once again, you can play it as if they're fighting each other. It's a fight to the death. You can just go your favorite. If you just want to go goofy with it. I mean, we're not taking this too seriously. Shit, look at me. I'm having fun with this. Give me your answers. But when you give me your answer, give me the little story. Give me how. How does so-and-so beat so-and-so? So there we go. So that's the villain showdown. We're moving on now to new movies. Getting some upcoming horror films. This week, coming out, we got The Lodge. Yes. So this new family, it's a husband and wife, but then he has 2 kids from a previous marriage. And then, she's the stepmom. And they go to this lodge, this cabin out in the middle of nowhere. And for whatever reason, he leaves them there. Like, he's just like, I'll be gone. I'll see you guys later. To get that plot going. And when he leaves, big blizzard hits. And, of course, the whole thing is like kind of like, she's the stepmom. Do the kids like her? And now they're kind of stuck out there together. But then shit gets weird. Shit gets very weird. In the trailer, they show that apparently they find out that she was a surviving member of like this cult that did like this mass suicide, like Jonestown type deal, and so whatever trust was there, and they're kind of worried about it. I mean, that's all I can know. I mean, the trailer is pretty vague, which is how a trailer should be. You shouldn't be giving away everything in the trailer. Fucking Black Christmas a couple months ago. Fuck you. Anyways, so it's directed by the 2 people that did Goodnight Mommy. and I don't know their name. They're like Austrian or German or something like that. But I love Goodnight Mommy. I thought Goodnight Mommy was a very well done movie. What I love about Goodnight Mommy is the trailer kind of showed you one thing, like here's what the movie is. And then it really isn't like that at all. Like, it really was. And I'm like, that. And honestly, that's not a complaint. That was just brilliant. Because, I mean, honestly, you're expecting a movie to go one way, and it goes a completely different way. If you have not seen Goodnight Mommy, I highly recommend it. Now, it is subtitled. I can't believe it's 2020, and there's still people out there who don't like to, read subtitle. That's ridiculous. You're missing out on a whole world of movies by doing that, but whatever. I don't know if there's a dub version or not. I hope there's not. Fucking read. Learn to read, asshole. But check out Goodnight Mommy. Really good movie. This movie, like I said, it's them, so I'm pumped just for that. It does have a very similar visual style. Like, once it popped up, from people that brought you Goodnight Mommy, I can start saying, like, holy shit, yeah, this looks definitely, visually a lot like Goodnight Mommy. I didn't recognize any of the actors in it, except for the young boy is young Bill from It, chapters 1 and 2. I'm blanking on it. He was also in Knives Out, actually, now I'm thinking about it. But, yeah, but like I said, I'm excited to see it. I definitely want to check it out. It's definitely my kind of horror film right there, so The Lodge. I'll definitely check it out. If you guys have to see it, let me know what you guys think of it. If you watch it, if you haven't, let me know what you think, how it's going to be. Check out the trailer. It's really good, so there we go. All right, let's get to it, guys. 2017, a little movie called Get Out. It's where this interracial couple gets together. Black guy, white girl, and he goes away for the weekend at her parents' house. And of course, there's that awkwardness of, what you think initially is just because it's an interracial, thing. Like, he's kind of paranoid that they're not going to quite accept it. And of course, they do the opposite where it's like now they're, so, hey, we're definitely not racist. That still comes off, pretty racist. But it starts getting a little tenser and it starts going off the rails. And of course, it's a horror movie, so bad stuff happens. I remember when this movie first came out, I was really eager to see what it's going to be like, because you got to remember, like, now you say the name Jordan Peele, you're like, oh yeah, he's definitely he's a master of horror. Like, he has earned that already. He's a master of horror. He's a horror filmmaker. But back in 2017, or prior to that, he wasn't. He was Funny Man. He was, of the legendary comedy team Key and Peele, which fucking hilarious. The only movie that I know for a fact that they did, more than just star in, was Keanu, which was hilarious. So when he was like, I'm gonna do a horror movie, people just kind of like, well, all right, well, weird that you would do it, but whatever, let's check it out. But I just remember in the interviews leading up to it, he kept citing that one of his biggest influences, at least for tone, would have been Night of the Living Dead, the original. And he said he really loved the social commentary in that, and he wants to introduce that here. And I didn't know what to expect, but when you see it, you're like, holy shit! Like you took it above and beyond. Because I mean, that's the funny thing about Night of the Living Dead is we always talk about the social commentary there, and whereas George Romero would add a lot of social commentary in all his films, it was always intentional. That first one wasn't. That first one was just, he did it and it just comes off like, holy shit. Like, it's very telling, and it is what it is. But I mean, the social commentary was not, really, wasn't done on purpose. So, but here, Jordan Peele definitely, put a whole dose of that in there, and it turned out beautifully. And I just remember thinking like, okay, saw the trailer. The trailer was like very, the trailer didn't give nothing away. And that's what I love about, and not to really get off on the topic here, but like Us was the same way. Like, you didn't really know what the movies were about. Like, you got a sense of it, you got a taste of it, but in the end, you're like, and I just remember watching this thing like, what the fuck's going on here? And I mean, I just remember thinking like, I honestly assume like when you find out that, spoiler alert, I guess I should have said, sorry. I mean, I know it's 3 years and most people have seen this, but for those who haven't, stop the video right now. I like it, big thumbs up, so there's your review. Go watch it, and then come back here and you can hear my thoughts on it. But no, I remember thinking like, Catherine Keener, who plays her mother, when she's doing the hypnotist thing, I just assumed that's what it was. It was just some sort of like mind control. She's, how, the help in the house, they were all black. So I assumed it was just like crazy, like racist voodoo stuff where there's basically enslaving black people and doing it, via hypnosis. But then you find out what's going on, and you're like, holy shit, like, I did not see that coming. I have a friend who claims he knew from the beginning, like, oh, that's exactly what's happening. Like, you didn't fucking know, fuck you. I always have that. You always have that one person who claims, like, whenever a twist is just awesome, they're just like, I knew it. It's like, you didn't know shit, fuck you. But anyways, no, so this movie, I love it because once again, it's all subtle. It's the atmosphere. It's how a horror film should be. Don't get me wrong, there's definitely a couple of jump scares here and there, but it's like, he's letting the story do the job. He's letting the creepiness, like I say, he's letting, he's directing it. He's not just throwing shit at you and trying to make you jump. He's a master of his craft. Like, Jordan Peele literally knows exactly what he wants. And it shows right here. Like, he's very confident. And that's what I love about his movies. Like, it's just like he has a very good visual eye. The cast, phenomenal. I'm going to butcher the dude's last name. Daniel Kaluuya? Is that how you pronounce it? He's the main guy. And, like, he's brilliant. Like, he really is. Like, he plays it so normal. Like, he's us. He's the part of us that is how we probably react. His friend Rod, TSA agent, he's us if we weren't really going through it. I feel like most people, if they were going through this shit, you'd be more like, the Daniel Kaluuya character, where you'd just be like, oh shit, like this, it's fucked up. But, you're like, once again, you're like, well, maybe I'm getting paranoid. Whereas Rod, he's us on this side of the camera, or on this side of the screen watching the movie. He's the one's like, hey, shit, get out there. Don't go in there. What are you doing? And he does a great job as well. The family, oh my God. That's the thing I love about this movie is as soon as, and I just watched it, I forget Daniel's name. I almost refer to him as Daniel, because I really forget Chris, that's his name, Chris. When Chris, first meets up with the family, and that's the thing, is like with the exception of the brother gives off douchebaggy vibes right off the bat. He gives off like very hostile, racist vibes immediately. With the other ones, like I said, it's very much that reverse racism type thing, where it's just like they're constantly uber nice, and then they just keep bringing up the fact that, hey, you're black, and listen, that's okay, we're cool with that, and they just keep saying it, and it just makes it even more awkward. But if you're looking at it from a surface level, now once again, we're watching a horror film, so we know shit's gonna go bad, but if you were, just a fly on the wall observing this, they come off like a very nice family, and I think that's really what makes this really eerie, is the fact that, like, they do seem like the normal family down the street. I mean, obviously a nicer street, because they're clearly uber rich, but they don't even have streets. It's like on the other side of the lake, in secluded woods or whatever. But no, that's the thing. Like they come off very normal, and so when you start peeling the layers back, you see just how fucked up this group is. Bradley Whitford and Catherine Keener play the parents. Big fan of both. I've always liked both of them, especially Bradley Whitford. He was great in Cabin in the Woods, but here he really does. He does a really good job here. Man, what's his name? Caleb Landry Jones. Is that his name? Am I getting those three words right? Anyway, he's the brother. Dick whole time, but he's such a great actor. I love that dude. Like, I just saw him recently in The Dead Don't Die. I thought he did really good in that too. Just goes show like how good of an actor he is. Like, he really does. Like, he never like transforms his appearance, but he morphs. Like, his character fits each time. He does something different. So great job. He did great. And then Allison Williams played his girlfriend, Chris's girlfriend. I forget her name already. I'm bad with character names. I'm better with actors and actresses' names, but when it comes to character names, I'm like, fuck it. But anyways. I think everybody talks about Rod still in the show, but man, performance-wise, like, I give it to Allison Williams, because, like, seeing her as, like, that warm girlfriend first, whenever, the pre-scenes, and then even, like, when she's kind of apologizing for her parents' behavior and how everybody's acting, there's a real warmth that comes from her, and even though we know, even the first time you watch it, something's up, she's going to turn against him or whatever, there's still that warmth there, and I think she really reminds me, especially in this movie, Jennifer Carpenter from Dexter. She just has that kind of vibe to her. I think she looks a lot like her, and she's just really warm. But as soon as she turns and she starts putting her hair back, and then from there on out, all you see is her with her hair pulled back. She's so cold. Like, just the look of her demeanor, her attitude. And like I said, my favorite little scene that everybody talks about is just that little tiny scene where she's listening to her music while the surgery's about to happen, the operation's about to happen, and as she's listening to her music. She's got a little bowl of Fruity Pebbles, or sorry, Fruit Loops, and she's got a glass of milk, and she's eating them dry. And then she takes a gulp of milk, and it's like, you're a fucking psychopath. Like, right there, that's the first clue that she's a psychopath. Like, right there. God damn. That's just so weird. Anyways, and because we're going to spoiler territory, let's go ahead and, throw it all out there. What you find out is that this family, they're doctors, or at least the father is a surgeon, the mother's a therapist, and basically what happens is they kind of decide to do this thing where they're just going to start taking, and why they just chose, they never really are specific. I mean, they definitely give a lot of theories. I mean, whenever Stephen Root's character is kind of, he says, he just kind of, they got different theories, but I mean, there is a lot of bad racial, whatever, no matter how you look at it, but they start taking black people, and then they basically take out their brain. They leave just a little bit that, keeps the spinal cord and everything hooked up to the the nerves or whatever, but then they put in everybody else's brain, and so that way the old white rich people are in control of the body, but then the person who used to be the black guy, he has to kind of watch. He's more of a passenger now. Even though that we see many times in this movie, you start seeing the passengers, especially when the flash goes off. But even when there's not, there's still a little bit of them inside there trying to get out or whatever. It's a brilliant movie. I mean, it just is. I can sit here and go through it scene by scene. It wouldn't do justice. Check it out. It's a movie that definitely needs to be watched twice too. Because I think the first time you watch it, it's for the twist. You're experiencing it for the first time. But once you know, then you watch it a second time, and it's so much better. It's just little things, My favorite little scenes whenever, Bradley Whitford's giving Chris a tour of the house, and he says like a line like, when his grandmother, he's like, when mom died, which is, Chris's girlfriend's grandmother, he's like, when mom died, it's kind of hard to move on. And he says something like, we always try to keep a little piece of her in this kitchen. And when they walk in there, you see the housekeeper in there. Of course, we know now that the grandmother, mom, whatever you want to say, she's in the body. But it's just like, it's so subtle, but it's just brilliant. And the other thing too is, like I said, this movie didn't have a whole lot of jump scares, but it's just so creepy. Especially the groundskeeper and the housekeeper, who are the grandmother and grandfather respectively. They just look so creepy. Like, whenever there's a scenes where, like, he'll look up and just see him staring at him, it's just odd. The whole scene where they're doing the auction, the silent auction or whatever, the bingo, thing, that scene, another just creepy scene. Like, when he walks up the stairs and they're all having the party, it's party noise, it's just people, murmuring, talking, and then as soon as he walks up the stairs, it just stops, and they all look up. Just little things like that, it just gets under your skin. I love it. Another, I remember Jordan Peele said in an interview one time that, another, because he's influenced by a lot. I mean, there's a lot of different influences here and there throughout, but, one of the big ones, obviously, was the Stepford Wives. And I thought that was kind of an interesting thing, because that's, it's kind of like, it's a body snatcher type thing, but, it's, the twist of it is like, with the Stepford Wives, they were, men would basically turn the wives into robots, essentially, to make their lives easier. And it seems like this is kind of the same thing. Once again, not quite, but yes, it's still in the same ballpark. Yeah, I don't know what to say about it. Check it out. I think it's brilliant. Yeah, if you guys seen it, let me know what you think. Comment section down below. Drop a comment. Let me know what you guys thought of the movie. If you liked it, if you didn't, let me know what you didn't like about it. But yeah, like I said, love it. Big fan of it. And then the fact that what really for me, on the whole, I mean, it's a great movie no matter what. But then like the fact that like Jordan Peele has stuck with horror, because I don't think anybody expected that. I think honestly after this movie we're like, okay, he'll do other stuff now. Because he's not a horror guy. No, he follows it up with Us. And then he's going to follow that up with a Candyman remake. And he has produced numerous horror films. And it's just like, he's a horror fan. Like, who would have known that funny man Jordan Peele would have been, had a little, had a bit of darkness in him. And I think that's awesome. Like, that's just so fucking cool. John Krasinski, same thing. Like, who would have thought he would have gone on to do the same thing? He'd do Quiet Place, follow Quiet Place 2. And it's like, who would have thought? I still think John Krasinski will bounce out of horror, though. Like, I don't see him sticking around. But the fact Jordan Peele's here, hey, we got him on our side. That's all I care about. So, guys, that's all I got. Thank you so much for watching. And, hey, we'll see you next week. Oh, shit. Didn't know what you're on. Sorry.
Hi. Thank you for watching that video. Be sure to give us a thumbs up, share it, subscribe to our channel. All that good stuff you do right here on YouTube, go ahead and do it. Check out our other videos. Go to our playlist. We got episodes of TPS TV, Journey Through the Dark Side. We got a new show coming out, the horror movie review with Daniel Richardson. This guy. And of course, our short film, Entropy. You can find all that and more right here on YouTube. And then check out, yeah, look at that. All of our social media right there. And we don't just, copy and paste like the same post and put it on all. No, that's ridiculous. 3 different platforms, 3 different posts. I mean, the behind the scenes stuff you see on Twitter will not be the same stuff you see on Instagram. So there you go right there. So be sure to get on, give us a follow and a like on all that right there. Keep up to date. Have you seen Unspeakable Acts yet? No? Come on. Pick you up the DVD right now. Links over there. Oh, yeah. It's only $7. $3 shipping and handling. And of course, if you've already seen it and you haven't seen the Public Domain Dungeon yet, boom, $5 DVD right there. So 5 S&P as well. Or sorry, 3 S&P as well. So there you go. Do that. And if you got the spare change, you want to hit us up, donate a little bit over at TPS Productions. Our Patreon is right there. Oh, yeah. So that's all we... Oh, my God. Sorry. I'm getting fired, ain't I? Yeah, that's all we got. Thank you for watching.